Hello, everyone. So, I wanted to do something a little different here today. I wanted to do kind of like a get to know me section or series on this where I share with you guys my chart, my experiences, what I've been learning um, along the way, what 7 years in human design has taught me, and kind of the takeaways of like who I am and how I use human design each day. So I'm going to share my screen here for you guys so you guys can see. This is my chart. This is me. I am a 6-2 manifesting generator, role model hermit, and I am on the roof of my face. So I spend so much time talking about transits and the gate energy and how it all moves through us, but I realize that a lot of people don't actually know me, like really know me or know my design. So I just wanted to kind of open up and share my chart. I spent a lot of my life feeling like I experienced things differently than the people around me. I feel deeply and makes sense being an emotional person. And I have moments where I'm like overthinking a lot of things, and my completely open head comes into play there. Um, I feel like the transit energy moving through my chart has really taught me how much um, I'm I am affected by energy change, and I don't mean affected necessarily in a negative way, just that because I feel things so deeply and because I can overthink things so much, um, different changes of energy, it takes a lot for me to process. Um, a lot of getting out of my head and a lot of really tuning into how I feel about certain things. For a long time, I thought there was a lot wrong with me, and sometimes I still have the moments of wondering what the heck is going on in my life. But some of the things that I really started to understand by understanding my chart was that I thought I was too emotional. And now I know that these emotions are really guiding me. I also thought I was really too sensitive. Um, Like, I used to take things very personally, and sometimes I still do, or things felt very intense to me that maybe didn't feel so intense to other people. Um, and that shows up in my gate 19 being very, very sensitive, and it's my sun personality, so it is a major part of me. The other thing that I felt like is that I was too all over the place, and you'll see that I have my hands in like many different areas. Um, and I'm doing a lot of different things that maybe you wouldn't seem to put together as like one package. And learning that I was a mani gen and that I do have my hands in a lot of different things, and I like to do a lot of different things, and that kind of eased some things in my life, but also made me feel really seen when I got my chart reading. Not to say that things were fixed or like instantly healed or completely understood, but I definitely felt seen. I felt like there was actually a reason that my life had moved in the way that it had, and that my experiences kind of made more sense to me. Um, I think some people online think human design sounds um, similar to astrology, and like it's too broad or it's too specific and it doesn't apply. And I like looking at it kind of like it's like a story, and I watch it play out in my life. So, like certain parts of my design, like I like a rhythm, a flow of certain things. I like routines. Um, Not all the time. I also really like change. But routines, there's something about routines that kind of put me in a state of creative flow that are really good for me. Um, and then, like 15 will come into transit and my entire rhythm changes and everything's looks like a mess. And then a new rhythm kind of forms. Um, I have been one to overcommit to things, thinking that, like I can do it all or I can do it all the time. And one of my biggest lessons was that I'm not meant to do it all. Sure, I can make commitments. Sure, I can follow through. Sure, I can push myself to strive to meet the deadline, to finish things, but at what cost? And my emotions have taught me over time at what cost it really is. Um, so my life on the outside, it looks really messy. It looks so messy that I have a lot of people come into my life wanting to like clean it up or organize it or like fix it. And what I've come to kind of realize is that it's meant to be messy. My emotional wave creates messes, like it's messy. My open head and my thoughts that spiral, they are messy. When I overcommit to something, it is super messy. When I push and try to take action from my open route when there is no real pressure to do anything there, or I'm trying to get free of a pressure that I'm imagining is happening, that's messy. It's messy for me. And at the same time, although these parts are static in me, and when I see my life play out, I see the different parts of them play out in my life. Um, this whole 7-year cycle really taught me that everything changes, that it's all transitory, and that every part of the chart, even the white, shows up in my life, whether it's through transit or through other people or through experiences that I'm having. I'm learning more and more about other parts that aren't consistently me, but are bringing me a lot of wisdom about who I am and what I do and what I bring to the table. So I thought today it might be fun to start with my type and authority and kind of show how it's played out in my life. And one thing that I've really noticed about my type, my Manny-Gen, is that me specifically, I keep myself super busy. And if I don't keep myself super busy, I get very messy. I get very in my head. I start losing my confidence. I start losing my voice. Um, I start detaching from relationships and careers and expectations that I don't feel like are aligned for me. Um, but when I say really busy, and for me, it's usually around, family or my love for learning or my love for supporting. That's when I'm thriving. That's when I'm the most confident. that's when I actually put in really good boundaries because I am busy, because I have things to do. Um, and I start becoming healthier and I start thriving. I start becoming a better version of myself when I'm doing those things. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about today a little bit was my emotional authority. This one was a battle for me. Taking time to make decisions, being willing to say, I don't know, or I'm going to take some time on this, was something that was really challenging, especially I think because we live in a society where like it's all about now, 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 now. Like everybody wants a quick answer right now. Everybody wants everything done right now. Everybody wants to just like the waiting is a challenge. For myself and for others, the waiting is a challenge. And what I found in the taking my time to wait to make more decisions is that I am more clear in the decisions that I'm making. I am keeping myself busy during the waiting periods. So I'm doing things that keep me active and keep me feeling good. And then when the clarity comes in of like, oh yeah, this is working for me or this isn't working for me, this feels good or it doesn't feel good. And I wait and I make those decisions a little later. Things start to flow. They're a little bit easier for me. Connections are made easier, relationships are made easier. And it it just it's so hard to wait, but it's so worth the wait to slow down. And I've had so many time periods in my life where I was moving fast and pushing myself and moving fast. And life created a scenario either, like my whole world changed and my whole relationships changed, or my health completely changed that required me to stop and slow down and reset and take more time making decisions that are correct for me versus rushing through life trying to get to the next thing without even knowing if this first thing was working for me or not. And I think the other thing that I wanted to touch on was how transit plays a role in me, and why I love studying it so much and why I love sharing it so much is because it helps me understand that like when the route gets lit up by transit, that the pressure isn't random. There's a reason, there's a purpose, there's an energetic marker that's playing out for me to learn something, grow through something, but also understand and be a witness of. So, like, the root will come in, and I'll find myself in a rhythm of resting, waiting, doing, resting, waiting, doing. And when it's not in transit, there's always this pressure to do something so that I can be free to rest. And I really learned to just realize that that's not the true motivation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the rest comes first. The clarity comes later for me. And so when transit comes in, that feels like a natural flow. Rest, wait, do, like when it doesn't, I can feel in this battle of like, well, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should try that, or maybe I can do this, and maybe it will relieve the pressure of this thing that I'm experiencing, instead of kind of taking a pause, waiting, getting some clarity, and then really knowing what it is that I want to do or that I can do that would actually help me move through something. And knowing when those things change are really good for me, because the transition from the defined route to the undefined route can sometimes be a challenge for me, because I got into a good flow of doing things, and then all of a sudden I feel like I have to do everything right now in order to survive, which is not true. So, this is kind of the beginning of me opening up a little bit more. I'm trying to be a little less polished and just have some more real conversations. I really think people are craving honesty and presence and connection, and the willingness to share experiences that may be unique that other people don't experience, and trust that there's that one person who, says, "Oh, yeah, hey, me too." And then that deeper bond can start forming. So if you're live here with me or you watch the replay of this and any part of my story resonates with you, I'd love to hear your experiences. But also, I hope this encourages you to take a little time to understand your chart and who you are. And I'll be on again to share a little bit more about me and my chart. Thanks for being here.